Many thanks for staying with us. Now, the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board has announced a revenue target of 23.8 billion naira for the 2026 fiscal year, a 4 billion naira increase from the board's 2025 revenue projections. Our correspondent, Sagir Ibrahim, joins us now to give us more updates. Sagir, now, while JAMB is targeting higher revenue, lawmakers are asking for a reduction in exam fees. Did the board give any indication that there will be a further price drop without affecting their 23 billion naira target?
Good afternoon, blessings once again. Well, not necessarily, and this question came from the lawmaker representing Adamawa North, Amos Yohana, and of course it's no surprise that he would ask the question considering the fact that if you look at the landscape and of course the recent statistics that was released by the National Bureau of Statistics, where it had mentioned that 133 million Nigerians face multidimensional poverty. Out of that percentage, a high number comes from the Northeast, which is the region where he comes from. And the expectation is, because he's a representative of his people, he would want any avenue that could lead to his constituents being able to afford access to education, and of course in this case universal tertiary matriculation examinations, because of the sensitivity of that to cross over to tertiary institutions. But then the response that was given by JAMB is that in this current dispensation, as a matter of fact, the JAMB, the price for the registration, the cost for the registration of JAMB has not increased. The JAMB UTME examination has not increased. In fact, it had reduced from the initial amount of 5,000 naira that it used to be to around 3,500 naira that it is at the moment. So as far as a further reduction in the price goes, well, there was no indication to that effect, and if that would happen, I guess I would have to wait and find out. Blessings.
So with the increase to 1,000 examination centers, how does the board then plan to address the recurring issues of technical glitches and power failures that have trailed, the previous computer-based tests?
Well, first of all, blessings. The committee were quite impressed, the Committee on Tertiary Education, because in just 2025, that number used to be around 800 and even less than 800. So to see that in 1 year, that number increased by more than 200 seems like a boost in the capacity of JAMB to organize its tertiary unified tertiary matriculation examinations. But then the concerns for the previous years that these examinations has happened still remains what it is. Concerns about technical glitches, students not being able to finish their examination as and when due, time allocation challenges, as well as several others. While the JAMB did not specifically say, whether the increase in the number of centers would, in one way or the other, translate to an improvement in services. They were tasked by the committee to do the best that they can to ensure that Nigerians reap proper service delivery, because it's still costing them money. Whether the cost of registration has reduced or not, Nigerians are still paying money for it. It is still student lives that are being talked about at the moment. So whatever happens with regards to this examination is going to impact directly on the lives of these registrants. And of course, because the way that these examinations are, you write it once, there's any challenges. If these challenges are not addressed by the headquarters as quickly as possible, there is chance that you might slip over or spill over to the next year. So this could cause unnecessary delays for these students who may have had plans for themselves, and of course for parents who might be inconvenienced in one way or the other. So for the committee, it's for the JAMB to do the best that it can. Of course, there's been an increase, but just an increase is not enough. An improvement in service delivery is also paramount. Blessings.
All right, Sagir Ibrahim, that's giving us an update on the budget defense, especially for the education sector when it comes to the Joint Admission and Matriculation Board.